The first call came on a Tuesday morning. A mother's voice, frayed at the edges, reported her daughter missing. 17-year-old Lila Hart hadn't returned home after her shift at the diner off Route 9. No texts, no calls, just an empty bed and a cold unease settling over the small town of Bracken Falls. As the lead detective, I'd handled missing persons cases before, but something about this one felt different. Maybe it was the way the autumn fog clung to the streets that morning, or the fact that Lila S. backpack was found neatly zipped and abandoned behind the high school football field, her phone still inside. No signs of struggle, just gone. Bracken Falls wasn't the kind of place where teenagers vanished. Its streets were lined with maple trees and picket fences, its rhythms dictated by Friday night football and Sunday sermons. Everyone knew everyone, or so they thought. But as I dug into Lila's life, the cracks in that illusion began to show. Her social media profiles revealed a girl caught between two worlds. Honor roll student by day, chronicling her life in carefully filtered posts. But her search history told another story. Late-night queries about bus tickets to Chicago, forums on disappearing without a trace. Her friends described her as quietly rebellious, a phrase that stuck with me. What does a quietly rebellious girl do when the weight of expectation becomes too much? Run. Or was she pushed? Then 3 days later, a second girl disappeared. Maya Torres, 15, last seen walking home from volleyball practice. Her sneakers were found at the edge of the woods near the old quarry, laces neatly tied. No blood, no footprints, just a pair of shoes placed as deliberately as museum artifacts. The town's panic curdled into suspicion. Parents formed patrol groups. The school board voted to install surveillance cameras. The mayor demanded nightly updates, his jowls trembling as he insisted Bracken Falls was not that kind of town. But it was becoming exactly that. The connection between the girls was tenuous at first. Different social circles, different schedules. Lila worked part-time. Maya was a freshman with a passion for science fairs. But then I found the yearbook. Page 87, a candid shot of Lila and Maya standing yards apart at the fall festival, unaware of each other, both wearing the same silver necklace, a tiny bird in flight. A coincidence maybe, until the lab confirmed the pendants were identical, right down to the scratch on the left wing. Custom made, sold only at a boutique 2 towns over. The owner recognized Lila from photos, but swore Maya had never been in the store. By then, the media had descended. News vans clogged Main Street, their satellite antennas piercing the sky like metallic spines. Reporters spun theories of a serial predator, a shadow figure preying on Bracken Falls' innocence. But predators leave traces. They take trophies, make mistakes. This felt calculated, almost ritualistic. The lack of evidence wasn't an accident, it was a message. My first break came from an unlikely source, a gas station receipt. Lila had bought a coffee the night she vanished, paid in cash. The security footage showed her laughing with someone off camera, her body angled in a way that suggested familiarity, not fear. The timestamp, 9:14 p.m., matched the last ping from her phone. But the camera's angle ended at the edge of the register, cutting off the figure beside her. All I could see was a sleeve, dark fabric, possibly a jacket and a wristwatch with a cracked face. I spent hours cross-referencing that watch. Teachers, coaches, even the diner's regulars. Nothing. Then while reviewing Maya's case file, I noticed a detail I'd overlooked. Her older brother, Ethan, had been cited for trespassing at the quarry 6 months earlier. The officer's report mentioned a broken watch recovered at the scene. Ethan claimed it wasn't his. The timepiece sat in evidence now, its face splintered like a spider's web. I drove to the Torres house that afternoon. Ethan answered the door, his eyes bloodshot, hands shoved deep into the pockets of a navy blue jacket. The sleeve rode up just enough to reveal a pale strip of skin where a watch might have been. When I asked about the quarry, his answers were too quick, too smooth. I was just exploring. Maya loved those woods. I wanted to see why. But his foot tapped a frantic rhythm against the floorboards, and when I mentioned the watch, he excused himself to the bathroom and never came back. By the time I forced the door, The window was open, curtains fluttering in the breeze. Ethan Torres was gone. Ethan's disappearance shifted everything. The town's fear twisted into outrage. How could a brother abandon his family after his sister vanished? But I wasn't convinced. The timing felt staged, like a third act in a play no one had rehearsed. His social media yielded little. A few photos of him hiking, a playlist filled with melancholic indie folk. But his laptop, seized from his bedroom, told a darker story.